if we look at this, if you go to like one of the last three problems, you can turn to, really quick, go to one of the last three problems, any of them. They all are in a form that we have not solved yet, right? They have maybe some type of number of, writing white on a white screen. We have some type of number up here, and then it has like, which one do you remember? Yeah. 1 plus root 3 or something like that on the bottom. And we can't just, our strategy so far to get that square root out of the bottom has been to just multiply by square root of 3 over like square root of 3, right? That's what we have been doing to get the root out of the bottom. But that wouldn't work here because we would need to multiply, we would need to distribute this, and we would get rid of this square root, but then we would just introduce another square root over there with the 1. So we need to figure out another way to get that square root out of the bottom of our fraction. You guys following with me so far? When we have like a plus sign or a minus sign in the denominator of our fraction, we need to use what's called the conjugate to get that square root out of the bottom. So it's using a lot of A's, B's, C's, and stuff like that in the definition here. Let me put some numbers to it and that might help. If we have 1 plus the square root of 3, the conjugate would be 1 minus the square root of 3. Okay, so it's switching the sign in the middle. We have 2 root 3 minus root 7. The conjugate is 2 root 3 plus root 7. Okay, so the conjugate just means we are multiplying by that denominator where the sign is changed. Right, we switch the sign. So, someone, let's see, I want to do one of the problems, one of your last three. I want to do it with you, for you, together, however you want to look at it. So someone give me one of those last three. Let's see, number 12. Is everyone's number 12? Come on. Is this everyone's number 12? Exercise 12? Okay. Why don't we look at this one? If we need to get the square root out of the bottom, we need to multiply by the conjugate. What would the conjugate be on square root of 3 minus 2, based on what we talked about? I thought I hit record. Yes, I am. Leighton. Yeah, I didn't see it yet. I don't know why it's there sometimes. What would the conjugate be? Root 3 minus 2. Yeah. Square root of 3 plus 2. So we are multiplying by the conjugate. Now, if we think way back to when we did our factoring and foiling and all that good stuff, we would need to foil the bottom. We will see what this simplifies to, and we'll learn the shortcut eventually. But for now, we will just FOIL. Square root of 3 times square root of 3. Square root of 9, which is simplified to just 3. Root 3 times 2. Well, 2 root 3, that one's positive. Negative 2 times root 3. Minus 2 root 3. And negative 2 times 2. It's negative 4. Can we cancel anything out? Well, we can simplify those, but can we just straight up cancel anything? Yeah, we have plus 2 root 3 and minus 2 root 3. So those would just cancel out. We'd say see you later. 3 minus 4 would just give us negative 1. Eventually we'll get good enough at these that we'll be able to just right away simplify this to 3 minus 4. We'll see that middle cancels out, but for now it's okay to just FOIL it. So on the denominator, we are left with, we're back over here to our problem. Denominator we simplify to just -1. How about up in that numerator? What do we need to do? We have 5 times √3 plus 2. Minus 2. Minus 2. I'm not sure where you get that.
√3 plus 2. We subtract 2.
Oh. Well, if we're just looking at the top, I see what you're saying. If we're just looking at the top, we have 5 times √3 plus 2. What I was looking for, and I did ask it in a great way, Leighton, what I was looking for is that we need to distribute this 5. So we would have 5 √3 plus 10. If we simplify this then, how would we simplify that? Or would I simplify it to be get that -1 at the bottom? What would become negative? The 10? What about that 5 √3? Would that become -2 also? Yeah, the whole thing would be negative, right? So we have -5 √3 minus 10. To get this negative out of the bottom, we would distribute it to both. And that was exercise, where'd it go? 11 or 12? 12, right here. 5 √3 minus 10. Oh, -5 √3 minus 10. Just talking about that. So that is how we use the conjugate. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty complex. We only have a couple minutes left in class today. So tomorrow